Employee bad attitude, change it. Let me ask you this. So when you read the title to that video, to this video actually, did a person actually pop in your head when you read it? I will tell you that you probably did, otherwise you would not be watching this video. And do not feel bad because it happens to everybody. If you are going to be managing people, it's going to happen. So today I wanted to talk about employee bad attitude and how you can change it as a boss. And I do want to preface this by saying that you can kind of help this employee help change their attitude, but it's really going to be up to them to want to change it. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about this. All right. So I know when you had that person pop in your brain, that you had that because they were either consistently whining and complaining about things. They maybe saw opportunities not as opportunities, but as, why do we need to do it? We've done it this way always. It's been fine. You know, it's kind of like that Debbie Downer. And they, I will tell you, are a drain on your team. And it's really creating an unhealthy work environment for everybody else. So I just wanted to preface that. So today I wanted to share with you really and help you figure out some ideas that you can use on this particular person that's going to help improve their bad attitude. So I am Dr. Heather Williamson with the Transformation Group, and welcome back to the channel. All right, so let's just get down to it. You know, the person that has that negative attitude that, you know, comes in with a scowl on their face, they're not helpful, you know, they act like they don't even really want to be there, are a drain on your team. It's that vibe, that killer vibe that is existing, and your team is watching you. They're watching you because they want to see you actually do something about it. And it is your responsibility as their boss to do something about it. So I'm going to share with you 4 things that are going to help you in this process. And the first is, do not just brush off this negative attitude that they have. And the reason I say that is because they are having it for a reason. So, you know, it could be many reasons. It could be, hey, they had a horrible, you know, some horrible stuff going on at home. There could be a family member that's really sick and they're kind of bringing that, you know, down, you know, upsetness to work. They could be having issues with coworkers where it's just personality conflicts. Or it could be, you know, maybe they have a boss that is just not supportive and they just feel like they cannot do anything. And I'm not talking you, but it could be maybe a direct report that's reporting to somebody else on your team. So when you think about all these things that could possibly, you know, create this bad attitude on this person, then you really need to consider, all right, it is happening. I've been seeing it happen, but I've been making excuses that, oh, it's just their personality. I'm not really worried about it. You know, they'll work it out. Well, 9 times out of 10, it is not being worked out, and you need to step in. And with that, I want you to actually have a conversation with this particular person and say, hey, I really see that there is something going on, but we need to actually create a very welcoming work environment. So we need to figure out what it is. So you need to ask the question of what is causing this person to have this bad attitude at work. And then, you know, you need to consider also that your team is watching you, like I said, and they're wanting you to address it. So when you do this, obviously this is going to be, you know, away from everybody else, but this is going to lead to my second suggestion for you guys, and that is make your employee part of the solution. And so when you're making your employee part of the solution, there is ownership in it. They are creating the exit for them, or the solution in order to solve this problem that they're having. So whether it's working it out with a coworker, figure out how to get that done, whether it's some conflict resolution or bring in a mediator, whatever it is. If they are having issues at home with sick family members or other marital issues or partner issues, then maybe they need to take some time off. Just another suggestion. But you got to get the head clear and be on, the A attitude, positive attitude, getting to work. So when it comes to getting them to be part of that solution, ask them questions. Obviously you can't go but so far, but you can talk about things that impact work and work performance. So stay on that topic and let them come up with the solution on how to do it. And then, which leads me to my third suggestion for you guys, and that is to expect positive behavior change for them. So when they come up with the solution, have them also identify, okay, what behaviors are going to be positive and kind of bring out that, smile on your face and checking in with people because you are really interested, or helping out with the team when you see there's a need. All these things come into play. And obviously the outcomes or the benchmarks of those things can be everybody you can see is working productively together. There is a higher vibe in the group. People are happy, they're smiling. And these can be benchmarks along with productivity. So when it comes to timeline, also keep that in mind. You need to be able to set up a timeline for them that these changes have to be made by. And also consider language and tone of voice as things to work on if they are needed. All right. And then the last suggestion that I have for you is if you have done everything in your power that is legal and the behavior changes still have not occurred, everything's been documented, but they are just not willing to make the changes needed in order to be a highly productive team, then maybe it's time you have the conversation of maybe this is not a good fit, but there are some other opportunities out there that you might want to check out. All right. And that's always a really hard conversation to have. However, it needs to happen. And it's really hard if you're friends with that person. And I have had clients in this situation. It seems like multiple situations where different clients have had a team member who has not been a great asset to the team, and whether it's poor performance or poor attitude, these things come into play. And when you finally say, hey, I don't think you're happy here, you might want to find other opportunities, and that person actually does leave, the team that you have remaining are going to be so happy with you. This has happened on multiple occasions for me working with clients. And they're going to be happy because you finally stood up and led the team. So they're going to even ask you, why did it take so long? And like I said before, it's tough. I get it. It really is. But it's something that has to be done. And when you get into management, you get into leadership, the tough calls have to be made. So keep in mind that when you are, knowing when to say goodbye to somebody, it's not always a bad thing. It can also be an opportunity for them to be a better fit someplace else. All right. So let's just recap what those 4 strategies that you can use to get your employees to have a better attitude. All right. And the first is don't brush off the negativity because it is there for a reason. So you got to find out what is going on. The second is make sure you have your employee part of the solution. The third is expect positive behavior. All right. And then the last but not least is know when to say goodbye. So hopefully this helped you. You found some value in these 4 strategies that you can use with your employee that kind of came into your mind when you saw this video and saw the title. And if you found some value in this, please like the button below, share if you know somebody else in the same situation, and last but not least, Go out and be that boss that your employees want to work for. All right? Bye, guys.